Hi everyone, we are going to show our shoulders some love today. This is a flow style class, which means we're going to kind of move between one shoulder mobility exercise sequence right into the next. And for equipment, all we're going to need is a dish towel. We'll grab it by our ends for part of this. Now, if you're really tight through the shoulders, I might recommend something longer than a dish towel, like a yoga strap, just so that you're able to separate your hands a little wider through the movements. Also, we will be kneeling for the first part of this class, so if you want some extra padding, I would just grab a blanket and fold it over. If you don't have extra padding available, don't worry. I'm going to give you an option to stand instead of kneel after our little intro sequence. This class is great to do if you've been feeling tight through the upper body and shoulders lately. Maybe you've been sitting more than normal or working long hours at a computer. It can also be done as a warm-up before, say, an upper body strength workout. If you use it as a warm-up, I would just recommend you skip the one static stretch that's at the end of it. I don't typically recommend static stretching before a workout. But other than that, we're going to be continuously moving throughout this class. And with that said, let's get right into it. We're going to start in a tabletop position. You don't need your towel at first. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and we're going to just warm things up with a cat-cow. So as you inhale, you open up across your chest, tailbone and gaze shifts up. And then as you exhale, you round your spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale through the nose, find extension, gaze shifts up. Exhale out through the mouth as you round. Keep that going. This last time when you are rounded up towards the ceiling, I want you to hold that flexed position. So exhale, round, round, round. Now really spread out through the fingers, push the mat away. So your shoulder blades should be kind of far apart down by your armpits. They're in that protracted position. Maintaining this shape, just take a couple deep breaths. Inhale through the mouth, and when you do that, I want you to focus on expanding the back of your ribs. So you should feel almost a deeper stretch through that mid-back area with every inhale. Exhale it out. 2 more. And then just bring your spine back through neutral. So you have those 3 natural curves of the spine reaching the top of your head forward. Now from here, just take your hands and walk them about 6 inches in front of your shoulders. And you might need to take them slightly wider than they just were, depending on how tight you are through the shoulders. Now from here, we're going to start to shift ourselves back, kind of like we're coming into a child's pose, but don't collapse. And then forward, stacking the hips back over the knees. Shifting back, you should feel an opening through the chest and the front of your shoulders and back. Now you're only shifting back as far as you can without losing that abdominal connection. So it's not about getting the biggest possible range of motion. Mobility is different than straight flexibility. Let's do one more. Come up and just walk your hands so that they're right under the shoulders. Now from here, I want you to shift your hips back again so that your bum is kind of over your heels. And then from here, we're going to take it into a twist. I want you to take your right hand and bring it to your forehead. So back a right hand to your forehead. On an exhale, you're going to twist, bringing that right elbow towards the inside of your left forearm. And then as you inhale, you find an open twist. Keep that going. Now the twist is coming from your spine, specifically the mid-back area. It's not coming from your elbow. So when you do that twist, I don't want you to just pull the elbow wide. The spine moves, the arm follows. So don't force it. You're working within the range of motion that you can control. One more this side. Come through center, right hand to the mat, same thing, left side. Again, make sure that your hips are back slightly because I want you to take some weight out of the hand that stays down. As you exhale, you're going to bring that left elbow towards the inside of your right forearm. And then as you inhale, you find that open twist. So this first opening series, focusing a lot on mobility through the thoracic spine, our mid-back, kind of goes hand in hand with the shoulder mobility work we are going to do. And we want to right away establish that idea of staying connected to the front of our rib cage. Last time. Open twist. Come through center, both hands down. All right, we're going to grab our towel now and we're going to come to a kneeling position. But if you would rather stand, you can totally do this standing as well. So you're going to grab the towel at its ends and you're going to lift your arms up to chest height. We want to make sure that our scapula, our shoulder blades are in a really stable position before we start moving. So pull slightly outward on the towel and now take the pinky side of your hands and ever so slightly, I want you to think of dialing the pinky side down. So notice just that slight rotation. Hopefully you feel your lats, that area kind of right under your armpits, engage. Now from here, all we're going to do is lift the towel up overhead and lower it down towards our thighs. Lifting it up and lowering. You're only lifting as high as you can, maintaining, I know I'm a broken record, but that connection to your ribs. They're moving gently in and down. That's going to help you stay neutral through the spine and to prevent sinking into the low back. Because remember, mobility, we want to be able to control the movement within the joint. Now I'm just going to turn to the side as you continue doing this. Sometimes when we bring the arms in front of us, we have the tendency to lean back. I don't want that to happen. I want you to stay really upright. So you have a gentle engagement through your glutes and you're almost thinking of slightly leaning forward into this, ever so slightly. It's not that I want you to be leaning forward, it's just that I want you to stay in the vertical position. Now coming up, we're going to keep this going, but we're just going to add in a little secondary movement. We'll turn it into a combo. At the top, we'll bend the elbows, pulling that towel, drawing it down behind our head. Let's add it in. So you're going to sweep the arms up. Now you're going to bend the elbows. The towel comes behind your head, drawing the elbows and the shoulder blades down slightly. Extend up and then sweep those arms down. Sweep it up, bend. Now I want you to try to stay neutral through the neck as you do that. So resist the urge to jut your head forward. Now, if this is not happening, you might need that longer prop, that yoga strap, so you can have your arms a little wider in the position. A good sign you might need that is if you notice yourself flaring open through the rib cage and sinking into your low back. Keep it going. I'm just going to give you a different view. I'll show you from the back so you can see what my shoulder blades are doing. Three more. Open through the chest without flaring open through the ribs. Last time. Reach it up. Lower it down. And now from here, I want you to bring that towel behind your back. This time the palms face up towards the ceiling, but we're going to do the same thing. Pull out on the towel so there's tension, and then take the pinky side of your hands, and this time it's a slight dialing up of that outside edge of the hands. So hopefully you felt that difference. Brought across those collarbones, connected and stable through your scapula, and then from here we lift those arms up away from our bum and lower. Lift and lower. I'm going to turn to the side. So as we do this, keep going. I'm just going to show you what I don't want to happen. As you lift the arms, I don't want the tops of your shoulders to roll forward. So thinking of that pinky side of your hand engagement is going to help with that. Lift up and away and lower. Now same deal, gentle squeeze to the glutes, neutral through the pelvis, long through the back of the neck. Staying connected to the front of our rib cage, not sinking into that low back. So these are shoulder mobility drills. You build up a good burn in your arms though. Now we're going to hold up as high as we can in 3, 2, 1. Next time you lift up, hold. You're still pulling out. Again, slight dial up with the pinky side of your hand. And then from here, it's a little bend to the elbows. It's so small. And stretch. Little bend and stretch. So the towel might hit your bum on this one. If you want to drop the towel, that is okay. But if you can keep it, I'd like you to, because it's just going to help you stay in position. Elbows are shooting straight back. Little baby tricep kickbacks without rolling forward through the heads of our shoulders. 8, 7, give me 6, 5, 4. You're going to drop the towel next. 3, 2, last time, drop the towel. Last thing, kneeling, or again, you can be standing. So we have a body weight combo, kind of putting some of that together. I want you to start with the hands behind your head, elbows wide, but you can see them in your peripheral vision. From here, arms are going to stretch up in a Y shape, kind of like you're a cheerleader. You're going to start sweeping the arms down, and as you do, you're going to rotate so the palms face back behind you. From there, you're going to bend the elbows, bringing the hands behind your back. Almost picture someone's putting handcuffs on, and then you're just going to reverse that. You straighten the arms, rotate the palms forward as you sweep the arms up, and then bend the elbows to bring those hands back behind your head. I will show you from the back, keeping that combo going. We straighten, you sweep and rotate. Bend at the elbows, hands come behind your back. Now, depending on how open through the shoulders you are, your hands may just come to your bum. They may come to your low back. They may come up to your mid back. Mine are just going low back. Palms face forward as you sweep up, bend at the top. Straighten, staying open through the chest. Sweep down, rotate, palms face back, and bend. Keep that going. What is my dog doing? What are you looking at, Pickles? Twice more. When you bend the elbows and bring the hands behind your back, don't let the shoulder heads roll forward, okay? All stuff we were talking about with the towel, just putting it together. Sweep it up, back to start, and drop those arms. You can shake them out. All right, we are going to come down to a prone position now. We won't need the padding anymore if you were using a towel. We're going to start using our dish towel laying down, and then we will do body weight. So we're going to see similar things we just did in a kneeling position, now laying down. If you're pregnant or otherwise don't want to lay down, you do have the option to do this next sequence in a hinged position like this. You would either be on your knees or on your feet, torso hinged forward, and then just follow along with the same upper body cues. Otherwise, let's lay down on our stomachs. I want you to take your legs about as wide as mat distance, and you can have them either parallel or slightly externally rotated. We want to stay neutral through the spine, and to do that, we need to stay connected to our abdominals. So instead of thinking of pushing your stomach down into the mat, think of drawing the abdominal wall, the muscles, gently away from it. Now, you need enough space to reach your arms all the way overhead. You're going to grab the ends of the towels, and same way we've started all these sequences. Gentle pull out on the towel, take the pinky side of your hands and slightly dial it down towards the floor. Now your nose is going to stay lightly touching the mat, but I want this sensation of length through the back of your neck. Keeping the nose down on the mat, you're just going to lift and lower those arms. It's not going to be a huge movement. Couple inches up and down. Now if it is too intense doing this in a prone position, you can always come to that hinged position, that option I gave for pregnancy. It also applies if this is just too intense for your shoulders in general. Another little tip, if you're super tight through the shoulders, doing this on a bench helps, because then your hands can come lower than the floor, because the bench is the floor and it's elevated. Now we have a combo coming up. Same thing we were doing kneeling. We're going to kind of cactus the elbows, and we're going to try to pull that towel down behind our head. So let's add on. You lift up, now bend the elbows, draw that towel down behind your head, but without sinking into the low back, core is engaged, stretch them overhead, lower down to the floor. We're just going to do a few. Keep that going. Lift up. So if you're someone who, when kneeling, you tend to jut your head forward to accommodate this movement, now all of a sudden you can't do that because the floor is there. So it's tough. 2 more. Last time. And lower. Okay, take a breather. Now we're going to go back to the lift and lower the arms, but we are going to add in a spinal extension, okay? So your upper chest and head are going to lift as well. As you inhale, arms and torso lift and lower it back down. Now this is a long position, not a super high position. So I want you to think of lifting from your mid back, the area right under your shoulder blades, not your low back. Now we're going to go back into that combo, bending the elbows. But this time when we bend them, we're going to draw that towel down in front of our head. So let's do that. Come up into your shallow lift. Bend the elbows, draw the towel in towards your chest. Extend it overhead and lower down. We just do a few of these and then you ditch the towel. I want you to start thinking, well, not yet, getting ahead of myself. Now, when you're in this lifted position, your gaze is at the front edge of your mat. You're not craning your neck, so you're not looking up too high. Just one more, you can do it. And lower everything down, ditch that towel, you don't need it. Bend your knees and just windshield wiper them side to side for a quick reset. Okay, so we have a body weight combo. It's going to be very similar to the one we finished our kneeling series with, okay? So let's bring our legs back out wide, either parallel or slightly externally rotated. This time, you're going to stack your forehead on your hands. So one hand on top of the other, forehead on top. To start, let's just do that little spinal extension. So you're going to lift up and then lower everything down. Keep those hands attached to your forehead. Okay, next time up, I want you to hold. We're going to come into that combo. So from here, this shallow hover, I want you to straighten the arms out wide. So that kind of Y shape, that cheerleader position. And then you're going to start to sweep the arms back behind you. As you do, the palms are going to flip up to the ceiling. You're going to bend your elbows. Again, think kind of handcuffs and bring the hands behind your back. Maybe they just come to your bum, maybe the low back, maybe the mid back if you're really open through the shoulders. Straighten the arms up. Palms face up. And now as you start to sweep them forward, your palms rotate down towards the floor. Hands come back in under your forehead. Lower everything down. Again, we lift up. Stretch those arms wide. Sweep them down by your sides. Palms rotate up to the ceiling. Bend the elbows. Bring those hands behind you. Stay open across your chest. So this is a very low hover, okay? If you come up too high, return to the mat. If you come up too high, you're going to be sinking into your low back. So, very shallow hover. Think an inch or two. Sweep back and bend. Three more times in this combo. Now, if you can't do that last part, the bending of the elbows to bring your hands behind your back without rolling forward through your shoulders, then I just want you to come to here, okay? Palms face up, arms by your side. You don't have to do that final bending part. One more time. Lift it up long and low. Arms stretch out and sweep back. And return down to the mat. Okay, we're in our last little part, and this is the part that feels best. I want you to roll onto your side. Why don't you mirror me and roll onto your left side body? And you're going to take this top right knee and bend it and bring it forward. And both your arms are going to reach forward. You can let your head rest. If this is too drastic of an angle for your neck, which it kind of is for me because I have broad shoulders, I'm just going to bend my bottom arm and I'm going to rest my head in that bottom left hand. All right, now your right fingers are going to touch the floor. From here, I want you to start to sweep that right arm up and overhead. Try to keep the fingers touching the floor. Now you're going to start to twist open as that right arm sweeps down and out to the side. So your palm faces up towards the ceiling here. Let's reverse that. Sweep the arm up overhead. As you do, come back to lay on the left side of your body. Now you might find when you get to this sticky part in it that your hand wants to lift off of the floor, that is okay. Just take note of it. Keep this going. One more time this side. Oh, I love this one. Sweep it back overhead, come through the start, and then we're going to do the same thing other side. You can just flip over, but I'm going to switch direction. So you're laying on your right side. You're going to take your top left knee and bend it and just bring it forward. And that top left arm reaches in front of you, fingertips on the floor. Now from here, you're going to start to trace that sweeping circle, trying to keep your fingertips touching the floor. As the arm comes overhead, start to twist your chest open up towards the ceiling. Can you keep the back of your hand touching the floor as you sweep it to the side on the left of you? And reverse that circle. So in the starting position, palm faces down towards the floor. And then as you sweep it up overhead and twist open, you rotate, and now it's the back of your hand that's on the floor, palm faces up towards the ceiling. And let's do one final time. And from here, I want you to just roll onto your back. This is where we are going to finish up. And again, we'll finish with a static stretch hold. If you're using this as a warm-up for a longer workout, then just skip the hold. So laying down on your back, palms face up towards the ceiling, goalpost position with the arms. Now we're going to try to keep the back of the forearms touching the floor as you just start to reach those arms up, straightening them. Now you're only going as high as you can while keeping the backs of your arms on the floor. As soon as they start to lift up, I want you to stop. And then just bend the elbows, slide them back down. So we'll do this a couple times fluidly, and then we will hold at the top. Now, if you are arching your back up and your rib cage is popping way open, then you've lifted those arms up a little too high. All right, now we're just going to finish with that hold. So you start to reach those arms up, keep the arms touching the floor, up as high as you can, maintaining that contact. And then when you reach your highest point, just hold, deep breaths, maybe close your eyes. Maybe try to reach up just a smidge higher. One more breath. And you can bring your arms back down. Awesome work. That is your mobility class. Hopefully you are feeling a little more open and mobile through the shoulder joint and maybe across the chest as well. If you enjoyed this class, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new workouts here for free every Monday, sometimes more frequently. I also post additional classes for Patreon members. So if you want access to more classes as well as a monthly workout calendar, you can join at patreon.com/Nicole Pierce. Your support is so appreciated, and I'll see you guys here next week.